Okay, so we are in Southern Africa and we eat marula oil. We process it the traditional way, and that is hard. Yeah, we have the nuts that we have to collect. We've got a tool to help collect the nuts. I'll showcase that earlier, about how you can use that one to go into your garden, into your homestead farm, and collect your marula seeds very easily without bending down and spending the whole day picking up. Yeah, because it's our women and who usually do that sort of thing. But today I'm going to showcase a nutcracker. When you get those marula seeds, you need them cracked, opened, and this is the nutcracker we are going to be using here on our website. It can be purchased at www.epsalinene.com. I just want to show you what it looks like. Yeah, I've tried so many others. Believe me, they don't work. This is the one and only that I found that works. Yeah, a handheld one that works easily. I'm awaiting an electric one. The previous one that I got, which is handheld as well, but which takes many nuts at the same time, that one did not work. I think I've shown it in my previous video. Didn't work. So this is the one that has proven to be effective. This type, effective on our hard nuts to crack that are marula nuts. Yeah, so with the marula seed, you put the nuts this way, the handle on this side, and then you take your marula seed, not a few, for demonstration, that I got for demonstration purposes, because I found that, well, many of these tools, they say, oh, they are hard nuts, they are nutcrackers for hard nuts, and then when you try it on our very stodgy marula, they do not work. So I've finally found one, and this can be purchased from our website that works on marula seeds. You have to test the seeds to know, because I think these people who make these nutcrackers, these companies, they haven't come across our hard marula nuts. There is one called macadamia. So this was made for macadamia nuts, because apparently that's the hardest nut in the world. So if you buy the one that is not calibrated for smaller seeds, it will only crack that macadamia, but no other seeds. So I acquired this one. I have to sell to my customers. This one you can adjust here the size, of the opening where to put the nuts. If you are able to adjust here, then you can crack. If you just acquire the one where you cannot adjust, then you won't be able to use this one, because it's calibrated usually just for the macadamia ones. But for our marula nuts, these ones that you can get on our website, this is adapted to the marula nuts, so you can crack your nuts easily with this one. Yeah, so let's do a demonstration. This is a marula nut that I got. Marula nuts. I'm only doing it once because I've got just a few seeds. I'm going to reserve the rest to check on my other machine once it arrives, on the electric one, for those ones who do not want the tedious work of cracking a nut one by one, and who can afford the electric one. There's the electric one that I'm going to be showcasing shortly. But this one is cost effective, and it can be purchased by anybody in our villages to crack the nuts. Yeah, so instead of doing it by hand, you know how normally our women do it by hand. Normally they take, let me just for the purpose of demonstration, a cracking knife and get my ruko here just for the purpose of demonstrating, or just this little, yeah. So what normally happens is, in our tradition, we get an axe. Get an axe similar to that, like this, and then you put your nut here. you know, it's sharp. It's a sharp edge. You put your nut here, and then you smash on it to crack the nut. And there are risks of injuries, you know, with this process, and it's tedious and time consuming. This one will take away the danger part of it, and it will make it much easier for anybody without any experience, even children, to crack the nuts. To crack. And no, I'm not advocating child labor. I'm just saying it will be easy enough. It's child's play. So you put the nuts here, and then you tighten. You know, I'm just tightening. You can see it's tightening. As I tighten here, this one is moving forward, and it's tightening to hook this nut in place. To hook the nut in place. Fix it in place, so that once it's fixed in place, then one can easily you adjust it, then one can easily crack this nut. So I'm going to demonstrate how to crack the nut. Okay, so you see that is the nut. So you just pull the lever on this side. See how easy it is, and it's cracking it. You see, it's cracked it. Cracked nut, cracked Marula nut. Whereas with all the other nuts, I struggled. And the nut is folded in there. You can see the nut is here, all cracked. Yeah, that's cracked. So you just pull it apart. Cracked Marula nut, and then you just you can use your instruments for your ngumbo, you know, to remove the nuts itself. Okay, and put it in your basket. So you see, easy peasy with this. Nutcracker, Marula nutcracker. The nuts in Marula, they are not so huge, so it's really a labor-intensive process. And our people struggle just to produce a few mahukus. You see the little mahukus from the nuts. For the whole nut, the whole lot of it is fibrous. At first I thought of grinding the whole thing in my grinder and then pressing, but you get too much of this, because the fibrous part of it is just too much, and you have a bit of nuts. You see the small nuts you get for all this fibrous part of the nuts that you get. So so then you get the nuts out. It's still labor intensive. I'm going to use the electric one and showcase how quickly it can crack the nuts, just to make the process a bit quicker for our women who produce our mahukus, our nuts, so that we can make ojove. And as you know, at www.epsalinene.com, we also sell the oil press to be making the oil. So that is the process of Marula oil processing that we have covered, and we can help in that process by providing this simple equipment on our website www.epsalinene.com, just to help make life easier for ourselves in our homesteads and for the production of oil. So buy your mahuku, buy the oil, the mahuku from our subsistence farmers. When they sell them on the market, buy from them, support them. And this tool will help them to make their labor a bit less, a bit more manageable, and the tool for picking up the nuts as well. And then you press the mahuku into ojove by using our oil presser, our oil pressing machine, and produce your ojove at home in large quantities, enough for all your cooking oil needs in the house. So if you prefer ojove, which is a delicious oil, instead of using normal cooking oil bought from the shops, just buy mahukus from our local farmers. You will support them in the process. Buy your mahuku from them, and then process your oil at home in your oil press, and you buy that from our website www.epsalinene.com. Yeah, very easily cracked nut. Let me just do another one for the sake of demonstration, so you can really grasp how easy it is. So Marula nut. Yeah, you adjust it, put it here to adjust it, so that it can fit in. Open it to adjust it so that you can fit it. Press it, you tighten it. You see? Oops, oh, that was unhooked. Sorry, that was unhooked. You have to put it the lever this way. Sorry, and then you tighten it in place. It's this one that tightens it. You tighten it that way by changing the diameter, the width of this aperture to the size of the nut that you have. It will avoid any injuries and is quickly done. And once it's tight and it's hooking it in place, once it's tight, then you can go ahead and crack your nut. You see how easy it is done it? Crack your nut. Yeah, you can squash all of it, or you can just do it halfway, and then you take your nuts from here. As you can see, you take your nuts from here. It's squashed. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, then you take your nuts from here. Yeah, totongona tokufamo no totongone kufemo mahukwa. Yeah, okay, very easily done. I'm not going to crush all because I'm going to keep some of this seed so I can grow my own marula tree here. Because Namibia can be cold as well. I live in a cold climate at the moment abroad. Namibia can be cold as well, so I think the marula nuts should be able to grow here just as well. Okay, so buy your nutcracker from www.epsalinene.com and all other the marula nuts processing instruments, including the nut harvester and the oil press from our site. Yeah, and let's complete the phase of our production of marula nuts, make it easy so that it can become a commonly used oil in our cities, in our homes, in our cities, in our villages, so we can have the oil that we love, prepared the way that we like it prepared by ourselves, and that is marula oil. No need to buy cooking oil in the shops. Just get yourself your oil press in the house. Yeah, and for our homestead people in the homestead, get yourself this little very cheap and easy to use nutcracker, and we will deliver it for you to your homestead. Yeah. Hello there. You know, at Epsalinene, we are trying to make life easy for ourselves in our villages and in our homesteads in Africa. Now we are in the business of making marula oil production easy for our people. So we are looking for tools that will aid in that process. Now, traditionally, we crack the marula using a sharp knife, not a knife. It's a hoe that an axe that you use. You put the marula like that, and then you use a stick. Sorry, you put the marula nuts like that, and then you use a stick to hammer it open because the nut is very hard. Yeah. And it's a very sturdy, large stick that you use with the edge of an axe to do it, which of course is a bit dangerous. You have to be skilled at it. Usually our women do it, have to be skilled at it, and you have the risk of injury. Now we want to make that process easy because you make it nut by nut as well, and it's time consuming and it's not very efficient. So that hampers the production of marula oil in any large commercial quantities. Yeah, so I've tried to look for simple tools to use to crack the nuts, because the marula nuts, this is a marula seed. Yeah, I acquired some. This is the marula seed. It's extremely, the dried seed is extremely hard to crack, really very hard to crack. So these tools around here that I got off the internet, it says they can crack nuts, but if you try this one, for example, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, there's no way you can crack that nut. It's very hard. It's not doing it. Yeah, supposed to squeeze it, but it's just, you know, you run out of steam and it's hard and you can't crack that one. Yeah, I've tried, it just will not. Yeah, so that tool, no use. Supposed to crack hard nuts, it's no use. Now I've tried this one as well. I've tried this type of nutcracker, whereby you are supposed to put the nut in and then you are supposed to squeeze, to squeeze it, but it just won't do it. Yeah, you need a lot of energy and it just won't do it. In fact, I tried with a similar one and look what happened to it. Yeah, this is what happened to it. Yeah, it cracked open in the process and banged my thumb in the process. So these are no good. That's for the dustbin already. For the dustbin. So I've tried this other one, because these are meant for nuts like hazelnut, almond, walnut, but not for our hard, you know, really very hard Marula nut. It just won't crack. This one you can squeeze all you like. It's even finished. I've put it to the maximum where you can squeeze absolutely nothing. Yeah. So this is no use either. This one, yeah. And then there is this one. This one is I've put it in here and I've squeezed very hard. It's not even doing it. Yeah, it just won't do it. No. And then there's this one with a little. You can see this one has got a little knife there. So I thought maybe that will work better, but it really. It stops even before the nut. You saw the nut is moving in here. It stops and the maximum is no use for our Marula nuts. Yeah, so those are no use.